After nearly 3 years of masking, isolating, and vaccinating, I finally got COVID. This means that this week I am not leaving the theater or on the couch. Well, I am on the couch, but not in a fun way. Thankfully, it was a mild case, and I really only had one bad day of being sick. I'm recovering well. I'm just stuck in the house. Of course, that kind of sucks because this week I was supposed to go see and review Avatar: The Way of Water, and instead I'm quarantining at home. However, since the plans to see the movie were already set, I've decided the show must go on, even without me. So for this week's episode, we have a special guest correspondent, and if you're a regular listener of the show, you already know and love her. It's my favorite panelist, Nichole Hill. And she's not alone. She'll be reviewing the movie with someone whose work you might be familiar with, as he voices a lot of the underwriting for NPR. Meaning, if you've listened to an NPR show or podcast recently, chances are you've heard his smooth tones introducing the sponsors. Making his Leaving the Theater debut, it's my friend and colleague, Chioke I'anson. Now, once again, they'll be reviewing Avatar: The Way of Water, directed by James Cameron, written by James Cameron, Rick Jaffa, and Amanda Silver, starring Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, Kate Winslet, Cliff Curtis, CCH Pounder, Giovanni Ribisi, and Edie Falco. For a complete cast listing, check out the link in our show notes. And one last thing before we start the show. Join the Patreon. We are one patron away from hitting our goal for the year, and that one patron should be you. To join, you can go to patreon.com/leavingthetheater or click on the link in our show notes. I'm Ronald Young Jr., and I'm in quarantine.
Hi, it's correspondent Nic Hill filling in for Ronald today, and we are leaving the theater after seeing Avatar: Way of Water. And I'm not here alone. Wait, no, first I'll do the synopsis. Shh, don't say anything. Okay. Avatar: Way of Water. In this exciting new film, the second in the franchise, Jake Sully lives with his newfound family formed on the extrasolar moon Pandora. You remember it. Once a familiar threat returns to finish what was previously started, Jake must work with Neytiri in an army of the Na'vi race to protect their home. I did not see Avatar: Way of Water alone, because I am here today in Richmond, Virginia with
Chioke I'anson.
Oh, the crowd goes wild. It's so exciting. And Chioke, let's just get into it. What did you think of Avatar: Way of Water?
Okay. There's a very special category of movie.
Wait, we should go outside.
Let's go outside.
Let's get into this. Ooh, it's cold.
Yeah, it's a little chilly out here.
This isn't ideal. Okay.
And this kind of movie is a movie that is technically right. It is, the director directs well, the cinematography is good, the editing is good. You feel all the feelings that they intend for you to feel in the script, and yet the movie is just totally bogus. So here's some examples. Slumdog Millionaire, a Bollywood film called RRR, and another example, the first Avatar. And so here we are at the second Avatar of four, maybe?
I think 4, yeah.
The second of 4. And I just am trying to come to terms with how little happened in this movie. This is a movie in which very little happened, and every scene went on for just a while.
Okay, so is this, did you enjoy yourself at all? Did you find it enjoyable despite little action and long scenes?
If I was home on the couch and I put this movie on, I probably wouldn't have lasted 40 minutes. But we stayed. We were in a theater, so we stayed and we watched the film. And like I said, it had action and it had stuff, and there were some developments with a whale that I was way into, that I was all the way into. So I'm glad I stuck around for that whale. But no, I would not watch this movie again.
Okay, I, maybe controversial opinion, enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I did. I know.
I've never wanted to leave a theater more.
And that's fair. Oh, and also here we have
Amaya Zaslow.
and Amaya, who are you?
I'm the son of the Almighty Son.
I was like, do it. Go for it.
Yes. I'm a boy. I'm kidding. I am the daughter of the Almighty Chioke I'anson.
Beautiful. Okay, so I have to be honest. I just found it enjoyable. I'm a lover of a bad action movie. All of the Rock's movies. I love them. I put
Emphasis
them
on
on Thursday, and I do my laundry, and it just makes me feel safe and at home. The plot, who cares? But it's like, ooh, cool action sequences. Ooh, beautiful shots. And I found myself just really feeling like, I don't want to have to think too hard. I don't want to have to follow a plot.
Oh, if you don't want to think too hard, then Avatar: Way of Water is the movie for you. This is a movie that completely jettisons its whatever colonial politics that it pretended to have in favor of one family story against one bad guy.
Ultimately, this is about two dudes and trillions of dollars and tons of native deaths. That is,
that's
two
all
white
that's
guys
about.
just have a little problem with each other, and a lot of people died. A lot of native people died, and that's historically accurate, so that's okay. Let me ask you about the tech, just like the technology of what you saw there, and James Cameron's realization of his vision and his dream. What did you think about that?
Well, so the movie has this problem where it really wants the Sky People to be the villains, but it's very proud of its in-story technology. Like it fetishizes the machines and the mechs and the screens. It goes all the way in on it in a way that holds it with pride, even as it's also trying to maintain that whole set as being villainous. It's quite disjunctive, I would say. Yeah.
I thought the same thing. I was watching it and being like, oh, you love these guns and these warships, not as much as you love the trees and the whale. Ooh, she loves that whale. He loves the whale more than anything in the whole entire world.
I'm waiting. I don't know which. At one point, we're going to get a movie that's just that whale.
We are, and that's true, and that's accurate. That's going to happen because we got the whale's backstory, but I'm sure there's so much more.
Yo, this is a movie where the whales talk. Homie. I was like, all right, that's cool. It's a whale. I mean, I get it. And then the whale, talked.
Dove into its trauma, and that's important
The
too.
whale was very introspective about how it got where it was. Yeah, I was really proud of that whale for doing therapy.
The whale did the work, but James Cameron loves both the environment and everything that is destroying it, and guns and cool tech, and that was very weird to see those two side by side. But also, it's explore that, I guess. I don't know. The Sky People, I'll say this. He went in on native revenge on white guys. I mean, they just started slaughtering people. The kind of thing you would have wanted to see in Wakanda Forever, but they didn't do because it's a black director. In this one, he was just let's go for it. Let's fight and have it kind of seem like it could be equal.
Yo, you might like your armor and your guns and all that, but you will catch an arrow through your airship.
Through your face.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. It was such a nuclear family in this movie.
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching like a movie from like a family film from the 80s.
I kept thinking Swiss Family Robinson.
Yes, it was like some Little House on the Prairie type family stuff. Nothing about this movie is queer.
No. That's not what James. Now, I have a question for you about the message about fatherhood. You are a father. We're here with your daughter. What do you think about the fatherhood message, which is pretty central to this one?
I mean, okay. Well, on the one hand, there's the I'll just murder you if you hurt my kids, which I think that, fair enough. I think we're all down for that one. And then there's like a really weird, estranged clone of my father narrative, which, okay, this movie believes in neither subtlety nor complexity.
Absolutely not. No. We're doing it loud. We're doing it proud.
So the most that it could do was have some moments of strangeness between a clone father and his son.
He's one of them now. How many times does he have to say it?
Oh my God. Why does everybody in this movie have dreadlocks?
No,
Right?
only former whites have dreadlocks. Everybody else has box plaits. and I noticed that. It's so complicated. I mean, like, kudos for James Cameron for being like, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to give our white heroes locks. And so that you know that these are your saviors. And I'm going to make it clear and I don't care. And then all the natives, all of y'all can't wear locks. Only whites. It's a wild film. It's a wild film. Do you have any other? I will say something that stood out to me. What they did to Neytiri's character, which is just kind of like a banshee mom,
Oh, right.
just kind of always screaming and clicking and just being unhappy, wanting to fight and protect her kids. That was a real bummer because she used to be a interesting kind. I don't really remember her character, but I remember her being more than that.
The moms in this movie either governed in silence or by screaming.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, the Maori tribes, that the queen of that tribe was just like, I'm looking at you and we doing it or we ain't doing it.
Exactly.
I was like, what? Like even when they're like, hey, maybe you should like chill out a bit, and she's like, nah, we going.
And everyone was like, yes, ma'am. Okay. And the fathers taught lessons and had like a growth. The fathers had arcs. The mothers were either screaming or silent.
Did this movie have a main character?
Jake Sully, white man.
He's in the movie for actually not a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
He does make choices, but then we end up kind of following the repercussions through everybody else.
Very true, yeah.
He does do the voiceover,
Mm-hmm.
which transcends time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt that the voiceover was actually quite disjunctive. I mean, it showed up whenever they just kind of really needed to get through something or get past something or set something up or explain it. But he didn't feel like a main character to me. Kind of nobody felt like a main character to me.
I would say that I was searching around like who has interiority. The youngest son has a lot of interiority and goes through a journey and will obviously take over in the next one. But Jake Sully was the one who was like driving the action. But you're right, there isn't like a lot that's going on with him outside of I want to run my family like a unit and I want to protect them. The kid though he has like larger ones that lead to a character arc that would be traditionally interesting.
So it's basically like a Grey's Anatomy meets Pocahontas meets 3 hours.
Amazing synopsis. Amazing. So good you're here. That's a perfect way to break it down. So everybody, if you like either Grey's Anatomy, Pocahontas, the 94 version, have you seen the Disney one?
I was not alive. I don't know.
And that's fair. That's fair. It hurts, but it's true. Okay, so let's rate this film. Chioke, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being, how did this get made? This is absolute trash. And 5 being, give this man all of the money that he needs, every $1 trillion, for these two dudes to fight it out to the end of time. What is your rating?
I guess it was a solid 2 stars.
2 stars. Say more.
Well, like I say, it was totally well done, but I had to fight that part of my mind that was like, what and why is this, the entire way through? And I felt the feelings. I very much enjoyed the action, the whole kind of a thing. I would not watch it again, and I can only hope that there are more reflective action movies in the future.
Okay, fair. I'm going to give it a 3. I would see it again, not in a theater, but at my house where I could take a lot of breaks. I could watch it over the course of a day because it is 3 hours and 10 minutes long.
It's so long, and they spend so much of it swimming.
So much of it. I mean, you're exactly, they're not advancing the plot. They don't care about that. He just wants to hang out. He loves the Mother Gaia, and so it's a lot of time spent looking at that. But I was entertained on this rainy day, and so I'll give it a 3. I would recommend it, but not... I'd recommend seeing it in theaters. It was fun. The 3D experience, I don't need it.
I don't need the 3D. Yeah. We could have done without the 3D.
Yeah, no, I got a headache. It was, yeah.
And it's 3 hours of 3D. Eventually, you're going to forget that it's even happening. It's too long. But it's fine. Go see it if you want to. Any final thoughts?
I mean, look, this movie is the summit of everything that James Cameron has been building across his entire directorial life. Exactly. It has everything. Did you see Aliens? Here's your mech suit. Also, there goes Sigourney Weaver. Did you?
Why was Sigourney Weaver still in this movie? I'm not going to give any spoilers, but
Yo, this movie leans so far into the Gaia thesis.
My God, absolutely.
It's amazing. And
Budding too, it's like, it's too much.
It's too much. It's too much. It's also, I mean, movies are doing this thing, especially in the Marvel era, where the movie feels like a chapter and it doesn't feel like a movie.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, I just did this for 3 hours and I feel like I just saw like the first chapter of a thing. That's not cool. I don't like this feeling.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay, with that, I'm signing off as Nic Hill, your correspondent, your first correspondent for Leaving the Theater. Chioke, what's your sign off?
Damn it, Ronald.
And with that,
Leaving the Theater is a production of Oh It's Big Ron Studios. Thomas Tyra of Bias Studios mixes the show. Thank you, Tom. Show art from Heather Wilder. Theme music by the mysterious Breakmaster Cylinder. For more information about Avatar: The Way of Water, Nic Hill, or Chioke I'anson, check out our show notes. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Oh It's Big Ron. That's at OHITSBIGRON. You can find out more about this show and other Oh It's Big Ron Studios shows by following us on Instagram at Oh It's Big Ron Studios and on Twitter at Oh It's Big Ron Stew. That's STEW. Leaving the Theater will be back soon. Thanks for listening.
okay.
All right, are you?
It is beginning.
Okay.
It is beginning. It has begun. No, you have to be quiet. Okay. Hi, this is Nichole Hill. Uh-oh, testing. Oh, it sounds weird.
That sounds.
That sounds great.
That sounds awesome. Yeah. See. Yeah, that's
Much
better.
better? Okay. Okay.